A bone-chilling clip is currently blowing up all over YouTube, igniting fierce debates throughout the online community. The footage spins a disturbing tale of a woman cruising down a pitch-black highway, completely alone.
Matilah pula.
Disaster strikes when her vehicle unexpectedly dies in the middle of nowhere. Stepping out to investigate the trouble, she is startled by a stranger who materializes from the darkness, volunteering to lend a hand.
Cik. Kereta saya daripada tadi tak tahu asal tak boleh start. Dia termati-mati daripada saya jalan tadi. Tak tahu apa pasal.
After messing around under the hood, this mysterious mechanic drops a bombshell. The problem isn't the engine, it's paranormal. He claims she's stranded on a cursed stretch of pavement and that something has already attached itself to her. Rattled by his cryptic warning, she glances back at the engine, but when she lifts her head, the man has vanished into thin air.
Cik.
Terrified out of her mind, she slams the hood and scrambles back into the driver's seat, praying for safety. That's when she spots it. But let's get real for a second. We've just witnessed another masterpiece of cinematic horror from that famous Singaporean production team, legendary for crafting high-quality scares. Like the video and subscribe the channel. Just imagine a family kicking back for a calm movie night until their home security feed recorded something absolutely blood-curdling. A dark shape manifests in the mirror's reflection, an intruder who clearly has no business being inside. Internet sleuths immediately linked this apparition to the infamous Hat Man, that menacing shadow person reported across the globe. You know the look: towering height, trench coat, and that distinct wide-brimmed hat. Lore suggests he feeds on fear, arriving as a bad omen, or perhaps he is the disaster itself. Strangely enough, days later, the cameras snagged another creeping anomaly in that very same home. Is this the Hat Man making a return trip, or just a bizarre trick of the light? If you ever see a hat-wearing silhouette in the dark, pull those blankets up tight and don't look back. One thrill seeker thought a solo overnight camping trip would be the ultimate test of bravery. But instead of proving his guts, he unwittingly signed up for a genuine nightmare.
Oke, mungkin dupanya bakalan aku taruh di depan tenda aja.
His camera picked up something unsettling. A mysterious entity had been lurking in the shadows, silently observing him the entire night. When he checked the playback around 2 a.m., his blood ran cold. The footage revealed a figure resembling a witch standing directly behind him. Admitting his courage test was a total bust, panic took over and he bolted. but the escape attempt seemed futile as the witch began to give chase.
Gerimis turun. Astagfirullahaladzim. 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 Astagfirullahaladzim.
I don't know if he started praying or just begged for his life, but something must have clicked, because against all odds, she decided to spare him. Back in 2021, a standard security shift at a gym in Asia took a twisted turn that nobody saw coming. The officer monitoring the CCTV noticed a lone guy come in for a late-night pump, casually stretching out before his set. But pay close attention, because what starts as a standard workout quickly spirals into something straight out of a horror movie. The room itself starts acting up. Overhead lights flicker ominously, while heavy gym ropes begin swinging like phantom hands are pulling them. Initially, the guy ignores the weirdness, likely shrugging it off as nothing. Scrambling to get away from the unseen attacker, he ditches his phone and bag, tearing out the door to find the security guard. Upon reviewing the playback, even the officer was completely rattled by what he saw. So, what's the verdict here? Is this guy an Oscar-worthy actor, or did he actually stumble into a terrifying, supernatural confrontation? What kicked off as a totally laid-back evening, just a crew of friends cracking jokes and vibing in the backyard, slowly morphed into something deeply unsettling. The laughter died down as a collective creepiness washed over them, that heavy instinctual sensation of being hunted that grew more intense by the second. Suddenly, movement in the deep shadows caught their attention. Seriously, what on earth are we looking at? The figure appeared roughly humanoid, yet it sported bizarre, pointed ears and giant, soulless voids for eyes. However, even with the yard clear, nobody could shake the paranoid gut feeling that it was still out there somewhere, silently watching. A mind-bending piece of footage just popped up on TikTok. Watch closely as a Christmas ornament appears to just delete itself from existence right in front of the camera. Obviously, this kicked off a frantic scavenger hunt, with the girl checking under the tree, behind the couch, and everywhere in between. Skeptics in the comments are arguing it just rolled away into a blind spot she overlooked. However, others are suggesting something way more paranormal went down, like the object glitched out of our reality, maybe slipping into a parallel dimension or turning invisible for a split second. What do you guys think happened? Let me hear your theories down below. It started as just another average night, but the vibe shifted instantly when something weird across the street grabbed his attention. Perched in the window of a totally derelict building, a pale figure in a flowing gray dress was just sitting there, frozen like a statue. You can't quite see her face clearly, but the whole scene screams, wrong. That place has been boarded up for years. So what are we looking at? Is it a spirit? An actual person hiding out? Or maybe just a terrifyingly realistic mannequin? If you ask me, I'm putting my money on the mannequin theory. A nightmare-inducing cave exploration vlog by the famous Arab creator Ibrahim has absolutely blown up, leaving audiences shaken after a mysterious hand crept into the frame.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حسنا كعيان حسنا خذه في باطن هذا البئر خذه قول يا رب كيف طلع يديه شفت كيف شفت قول يا رب ايش خوف يعني قول يا رب شاء.
The footage is currently tearing through the internet, amassing over 900,000 likes and generating a flood of comments from the paranormal community. A huge chunk of viewers are convinced this is definitive evidence of something supernatural, potentially even a jinn caught on tape. Ibrahim's creepy expeditions have made such waves that major Arab news networks are covering the story, bringing him on air to discuss these terrifying encounters. Back on the night of May 6, 2022, one man recorded a celestial event that many are labeling a biblical miracle. His lens caught an intense, blinding white light slicing through the pitch-black sky above Bradenton, Florida. If you look at the clip, it literally looks like a massive beam of energy is shooting down from the clouds. This eerie illumination immediately ignited a firestorm of speculation online. The majority of people, the cameraman included, interpreted it as a message from above, dubbing the phenomenon the gates to heaven. However, skeptics immediately jumped in to debunk the spiritual angle, pointing out that a SpaceX launch occurred that exact same day, only 150 miles away. Despite the logical explanation, the argument still rages on. So, where do you stand? Is it science or something divine? A TikTok user just uploaded a disturbing find, a concealed trapdoor located right in the middle of a hotel hallway.
What? Is this a smuggling tunnel? What is this?
But if finding a secret hatch wasn't weird enough, just wait until you see the nightmare fuel waiting inside. Seriously, what are we dealing with here? Is this the entrance to a dungeon? Or are we just looking at a really slick video edit? A deeply unsettling clip recently emerged from the darker corners of the internet, originating from a channel dedicated to the strange phenomena haunting the Canadian wilds. And if you trust your eyes, just watch. This wasn't filmed by a tourist. It was captured by a remote trail cam hidden deep in the timber, originally set up to catch illegal loggers, but instead of criminals, it recorded something far more primal. The footage is already tearing the internet apart, Viewers are split between this being a massive stuntman in a Hollywood-grade suit or a genuine monster. The video quality is terrifyingly sharp. You can actually make out facial features. If this turns out to be authentic, we might be looking at the single greatest piece of Bigfoot evidence in history. A Reddit user just dropped a seriously unnerving clip, claiming he stumbled upon it completely by chance while browsing a friend's social media feed. On the surface, it looks innocent enough, just a bright afternoon at the beach with waves crashing in. But keep your eyes locked on the background, because things get weird fast. If you focus on the water, a colossal shape breaks the surface and starts moving right before the feed abruptly cuts to black. The internet immediately flagged it as a giant sea serpent. And to be fair, looking at that silhouette, it's a terrifying possibility, but it definitely makes you wonder what's really swimming out there. It turns out the dead might actually have a wicked sense of humor. And this footage is the evidence. Captured on an office security cam, the scene starts typically enough. A guy strolls over to a colleague's desk for a quick chat. The coworker turns his back for a split second, and just as the man moves to take a load off on a metal folding chair behind him, watch that again, closely. The chair doesn't just slip, it violently tips over the instant before he sits, sending him crashing to the floor and nearly demolishing the cubicle wall in the process. Looking at the physics of the fall, there is no way he did that to himself. So the question is, who or what yanked it? Skeptics are screaming invisible string, implying a prank, and honestly, even if this was a setup, that impact looked way too painful to be fake. Social media feeds are lighting up with this short but intense clip, where witnesses in a city claim to have cornered something unnatural in the dead of night. Spot that dark, hunched-over shape on the roof. That's the target. Listen to the audio. You can hear a furious mob screaming, actively trying to hunt this thing down. But despite the chaos, it doesn't look like they're making any ground. The entity appears to be backed into a corner with zero escape route. But the million-dollar question remains. Did they actually catch it? The video ends before we find out. So, was this a genuine witch being hunted, or just some poor soul trapped in a dangerous situation? This next clip allegedly comes from way out in Antarctica, where a researcher stumbled upon a seriously weird creature trapped under the ice.
So let's see what it is. Oh, there is another air balloon. What? What the hell? Ah! This is a monster head!
After clearing away a layer of snow, the guy starts totally freaking out over his find, shouting like a maniac. He seems convinced he's looking at some kind of humanoid body.
I don't believe my eyes! Guys! Oh. That's a monster head! Look, that is his eyes!
As you can guess, The internet is split on this one. Some viewers agree, claiming they can clearly make out a monster's head frozen in time. Others are arguing this wasn't even filmed in Antarctica at all, while plenty of people are just pointing out how dramatic the acting feels. Some people are even suggesting it's actually a deep-sea creature, like a squid. To be honest, I can't tell what that thing is. But I'm willing to bet the whole encounter was staged. I mean, how else would he know the exact spot to start digging?